The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Well, most nights when we go to bed, it's the house as clean as a whistle, in particular the kitchen area.
Yeah, well, Megan is fastidious.
Yeah, she's
you
fasti-
help out with
Natalie
dishes and
Swearword.
things.
I know. Call it
yeah.
fast.
So last night, as usual, went to bed and the place was absolutely Mickey Mouse, so that's good news. But every morning, and including this morning, I get up and there is the deep fryer out on the bed.
The air fryer.
The air fryer. The air fryer.
The air fryer or
So-
deep fry? Deep air fry.
Okay, we know who owns that air fryer.
So the mice are getting up
young
and about?
Cooper McManus.
Yeah, it's my son Cooper who continually gets up, probably around midnight. He gets out the air fryer, plugs it in, and he air fries nuggets or chicken strips. And he knocks them off, and then he leaves his bloody plate with half the sauce all, on it in the sink.
Yes.
He doesn't wash the plate
No,
off.
no.
Because
Can I
the
just
sauce
say-
goes hard and it makes it harder.
And that is ridiculous, right, that someone leaves a saucy plate out.
Yeah.
But when I was his age, I could not even contemplate running that under the sink. Like,
No,
you could not even think of why you would need to.
Yes.
You leave it there and then later it's gone.
And in his mind, he thought, I didn't leave it on the bench. I left it in the sink. So I've done my job.
Yeah.
Nathan, can I just...
Yeah.
I'd like to explore that for a second.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. I know, and we were all the
We're
same.
all
I know
the
we're all the
same.
same.
Yeah.
But when you live in a house with there's 5 other people who are doing that continuously, it drives you
Oh, mate.
bonkers.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Well,
back
you
to
drove
when
your
I was...
mum bonkers too.
Think back to when I was a kid, and I've said this many times, where I'll be sitting on the lounge next to Mum watching probably a country practice, and then I'd turn to Mum and say, "Can you go and get me a drink?" And then Mum would say no, and I would go mental at her because I didn't understand why she wouldn't get up and get her son a drink. Because I'm busy, I'm watching a country practice.
It's too far to go to the fridge, all of 10 metres. But night snackers in
Yeah.
my household, because I want to eat dinner by 6:30. That's my... It never
Can I
happens,
tell
but
you?
before
I
7.
eat at 5.
What?
Yeah.
Do you live in an old people's home?
No, I just started for a while there, and then I eat at 5, and then I don't feel full or anything. Sometimes it's a bit rough though, because by the time we go to bed, you're starving.
Yeah. I had my
He
niece
has his jelly
stay
at
over the
5:30
weekend, and she's at boarding school, and it got to like 5:15 on
Yeah.
Saturday night, and she comes in and she goes, "Are we eating soon?" Because like at the boarding house they eat at 5.
Yeah, right.
And so old people's homes and boarding
Boarding house
schools,
and
Nathan,
my
that's
house.
it. Yeah,
And my house,
yeah.
5.
I had to, and we were going out for fish and chips. I'm like, oh, it's going to be. We're still half an hour away from dinner.
Did
The
you
look
make
on
her a
face-
jam
Well, that
sandwich or
drives me
something?
insane.
The look on her face
Yeah.
was like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
So
that
is
would drive me
this
insane.
every night?
Night snackers, yeah. He has been doing this just about every
And
single
how many
night.
is he polishing off? How many chicken strips? How many nuggets?
I
per
reckon he's
sitting?
doing almost a box of, what do you get in a box? Probably 12 nuggets, maybe 18.
And can I just say,
12 nuggets in the middle of the
and can I
night.
just say something right now? And this is the worst thing about young people. He's skinny as a rake. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because he's a 16-year-old growing boy, is the
that
thing. Like,
enrages
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Then you have to start curbing that number as you get older.
He's got a metabolism of a racehorse at this point.
All right, so do you want to talk like night snackers?
I want to hear about night snackers, absolutely. The
Night
people do it. What do
snackers.
they eat?
All right, so this is the thing that you eat before you get to bed, or perhaps it's the thing you get out of bed to eat and then go back to bed.
That's right.
Hey, why don't we give somebody 2 tickets to go and work all that off at the Backstreet Boys live in concert?
Oh, that'll do
Oh,
it.
yes.
Yeah? The Backstreet Boys are bringing their 2023 DNA World Tour to RAC Arena. It's happening Saturday, the 25th of February. Tickets and info from livenation.com.au.
All right.
Backstreet's back. Let's go to Paulette in Jindalee. Hi, Paulette.
Hi, how you going?
Great,
Good,
Paulette.
Paulette.
Is there a night snacker in your world, Paulette?
Yes, my son, my 21-year-old son, who absolutely loves peanut butter.
Yes.
What happens?
He pretty much grabs a tablespoon and has 5 to 10 tablespoons a night, and
So he's just eating it
10.
straight out of the jar with a spoon.
straight out of the jar. And it's a big jar. It's Costco. I don't know if you guys know how big these Costco
Yeah.
Yeah, about
Yeah,
5
yeah,
litres.
you can fit a Rottweiler in it.
And so, like, after a week, 10 days, I'm like, oh, my God, where the hell's my peanut butter gone? And I realize it's my son, Denzel, eating peanut butter.
You know, Denzel, did you eat that peanut butter? I go, no, mine did not.
Paulette, this morning we were having a conversation about peanut butter before we come on air because
Yeah.
we love it, but
Yeah.
Nathan won't have it anymore.
No, 'cause
And
I-
accompanies a crumpet.
Yeah, Sean talks about peanut butter on crumpets, and I really went down that rabbit hole for a second, and I had to stop. So now the peanut butter is left in the pantry, Sean.
Well, if you could pass it on to Paulette's son, that'd be
Well,
terrific.
he could really
Thanks,
need it.
Paulette. Tara, hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi, Tara.
Who's the night snacker Tara?
So I'm not normally a night sucker, but my housemate came home one night, and I'd been a sleepwalker for a very long time. And when she got home, I was making laksa.
You're making
So you were
So I-
sleep-making laksa.
Yeah, so I was steaming some bok choy and
What?
some snow peas and, like, heating up the vermicelli noodles and, yeah.
I want to come over to your house.
I
That sounds
understand
delicious.
someone.
gourmet.
I don't get this.
I was
People.
going through a laksa phase, so I
Yes.
had, like, the chicken and the broth all made up.
Yeah.
And I just had to reheat it, but I was like, steaming everything in the microwave and
See, people that
getting my
get up
noodles
and
ready.
like automatically go and like
Yes.
in their sleep just heat something up in the microwave or just
Yeah.
get something out of the fridge again, but not preparing a full blown Asian delicacy.
Yes.
Yeah, a full meal, yes.
That's amazing.
Thankfully, I don't do it often. Otherwise, I'd probably be a lot bigger than
How
I
do you
am.
know? You might.
But how good?
Unless
Well,
your
you don't-
flatmate
yeah.
springs you don't know you're doing
We
it.
were talking about it yesterday that night people, like if you could do things at night and then wake up and be done. Imagine
Yeah.
that. Imagine waking up the next day and dinner's made for that night.
That'd be brilliant.
Oh, so good. Thanks,
To live in
Tara.
Maidens, you.
Simone, hello.
Hi, how you going?
Oh,
Simone.
great, Simone. Who's the night snacker?
Me!
What do you have?
Oh my God. Okay, so it was a little while ago, but it has happened recently, but not too much. When my husband left, I must have been a little bit stressed, and I had little kids, and I used to not even know I did it, but I used to wake up in the morning and find all the tiny teddy cases in my bed. And then I thought, okay, so I better hide the tiny teddies, and I found them. So I must have been sleepwalking and then getting tiny teddies and just finding the wrappers in my bed.
That's like evidence of shame, isn't it? When there's just party teddy wrappers everywhere.
How many packets would you go through in a night there, Simone?
Maybe 3 or 4, but I used to think it was the kids coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, they were scared, they were this, they were that, and they just brought their snacks with them. But no, it was me.
There you are, just
Shoving them in.
killing
Munching out on
thousands of tiny teddies.
I love how you thought you could hide them from yourself. It's like, but you hid them so you knew where they were. That's problematic, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
It's very hard to hide things from yourself.
You're the one that. But I thought the day person kept secrets on the night person.
Thanks, Simone.
Couple of tickets to go and see the Backstreet Boys live in concert. The Backstreet Boys are bringing their 2023 DNA World Tour to RAC Arena. It's this Saturday, February 25th. Tickets and info from livenation.com.au. Tara's making laksas. Now, I want to go
that's
over to
next
her
level,
house
isn't it?
in the middle of the night.
I would love to
Shout
try
out
her
to
sleep
creepy.
laksa.
Yeah, me too.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Actually, it's a really great new cooking show, isn't it? People that cook in their sleep and then we judge them for what they cook.
You've got all the ideas, man.
Sleepy Master Chef.
It's
amazing.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Nathan Nat and Sean joined in the studio by Virginia Gay, who you may remember from All Saints, Winners and Losers these days. She's writing plays and starring in them. Is there anything you can't do, Virginia Gay?
I can't really do that auditory, desultory applause that you did there before. Can I come and follow me? Thank you so much. Thank you for your support, Harry. I really appreciate it. As an artist working in the world, yes, it's so underappreciated. No, plenty of things I can't do. Can't dance. Can't stick to one conversational tangent. I'm all over the place.
Nor can we.
I do have to say, from knowing you so much from All Saints, it's so weird seeing you not walking with a white blouse and an upside down little watch hanging from your
Oh, yeah, I love that watch.
from your boobie.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I am still wearing that. You just can't see.
Thinking back to that, though, Virginia, the cast that you had for All Saints is unbelievable. There was so many people there that are so well known, like yourself, have done so many great things in Australian TV.
Yeah, I felt pretty lucky. I got that job 3 weeks out of graduating Whopper.
Wow.
And in fact, I got it. I did several auditions with different directors because they had no idea I was like an unknown quantity.
Yeah.
And they gave me. I got a call direct from Channel 7 3 days before Christmas, and they went, "Happy
You're
Christmas!
in.
You've got a 3-year contract with Channel 7."
Just like that.
That's crazy.
Isn't it crazy that for us as well, we just walk straight off the street into this breakfast radio role, which people
And it shows.
fight. Believe me,
You're not wrong.
and people fight for years to be able to get these gigs, as people would in your industry as well. They would fight for years, and then some people just get handed things on a silver platter.
Yeah, I had a lot of survivor guilt. I had a lot of imposter syndrome too. For the first 18 months, I thought I'd
can
be
imagine.
fired every single day that I walked in. I'm
Really?
like, today's the day. They've worked it out. They know what they've done.
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
made a terrible mistake, and it's been great knowing you all.
Tell you what, Whopper produces some bloody quality.
Yes, I didn't know you're a Whopper girl.
We hire from the broadcasting
yes,
thing there
yeah.
here at Nova. Yeah, they're amazing.
I mean, not our jobs, obviously, but, you know.
yeah, most people that work around us. So.
Yeah.
Where did you live when you were over here going to Whopper?
Mount Lawley, my darling.
Yeah.
We lived basically, it was like 700 metres from school. Still managed
Yep.
to be late nearly every morning. And we would walk up over the hill. We would go to work. We'd go to school at like 7:30 in the morning. We'd be
Yep.
there usually until 10:30 at night. Then we'd walk back and we'd be in our beds. Like, so I'm walking around Perth at the moment and going, not only has Perth changed a lot
Yes.
since I've been here, but there are also whole pockets of Perth
You
that
never- that
I
you never
never
saw.
went to.
Yeah.
We just did school, home,
Yeah.
sleep, tears, try and kiss someone, school, home. That
Who
was
else
it.
was in your year? Were there any other people names we know?
I will tell you that Ian Meadows was in my year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he is now the showrunner for RFDS.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he's doing with his
Yeah.
life, which is so impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in my year. The fabulous Sophie Ross, who's a theatre actor in Melbourne. Really, really good people who I've continued to love with my
Yeah.
whole
Well, you got to
That's
be
great.
bloody near on brilliant to be able to get picked in the first place to be able to have
Yes,
a crack at it.
just to
So
get
yeah,
in.
the level is amazing.
Oh, that's very kind. We tried. We tried our hardest. Work, sleep, kissing, drinking, sleep, work, sleep. Drama school. It's a wonderful
Sounds
thing.
great.
So, where on what street in Mount Lawley were you in?
Venn Street.
Oh,
Yeah, do we know Venn? There was front Venn and back Venn. There was a beautiful house in front, and we were in the back Venn, which was like the annex.
Tell us about back then.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Yeah, we are pretty fancy nowadays, aren't we, around
So
Perth?
nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
the state buildings.
Yeah.
In the
How
city.
good.
Holy moly.
Yeah, have you hopped down to look at Elizabeth Quay?
It's
And a little-
gorgeous.
Yes. And of course, Cyrano, the show that you're here to talk about, which we haven't got to yet, but at the Heath Ledger Theatre, how good's that as a
That is a
venue?
world-class
Beautiful,
theatre. I
isn't
do not
it?
exaggerate when I say that. Like, I go into a lot of theatres to do a lot of shows, and amazingly, somehow in the modern world, mostly people don't design theatres for people to hear things in.
Yeah,
right.
For some reason, that's just not something that they do. And I walked into the Heath Ledger and I was like, oh, it's live in
Yeah.
here, like it's pingy. So it does that beautiful thing, which is exactly what any live performance venue should do, which is that it supports the art that it's making in the space. And you can hear everything
Yes.
and see everything.
Do you
It's
unconsciously
gorgeous.
walk into a room as a performer and ping it, do you? Just like naturally ping a room?
Yes, and can I tell you that I often do it in places where I shouldn't make any noises.
Like,
Things
tell me
like
more.
beautiful cathedrals and things.
Oh, yeah.
Other people's funerals.
Oh, it's a lovely pinging space, isn't it? And we are gathered here today. And Virginia is doing the cooey welcome of sadness to grief
doing
for
the
loss of our
Coology.
friend. Take the rest of the day off, guys. You've peaked.
Nat was explaining Cyrano to me before, and it was an easy one to get over the line because she said it was Roxanne, the movie that I would have seen
That's
over the
with Steve
journey.
Martin,
Steve Martin.
the classic.
That's exactly
And that's it. And you
Yeah.
play the Steve Martin role.
I certainly
so a lot
That's
of
how I explained it to Sean, so in terms he would understand.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a long nose involved. Explain to people.
Well, okay, so in fact, in our production, the long nose is, we're asking you to imagine it because part of what we're doing here is welcoming people back to theatre writing.
Yes.
Theatre is this world of imagination. So we use Cyrano as the story of somebody who's very good with their words,
Yes.
but who thinks they're unlovable and
Yes.
not beautiful. And they fall in love with a beautiful woman who is also brilliant.
Yeah.
And the brilliant woman falls in love with a handsome guy who is unfortunately dumb.
Yes.
So the brilliant person writes the words for the dumb person to say to seduce
Yeah.
the beautiful Roxanne. And that's obviously, that's a very
And then
complicated
poor
thing.
Roxanne doesn't know who she's actually fallen in love with.
Exactly.
The dumb hot guy is played by our
Australia's
friend
Joel Jackson.
Yeah, we know
I
Joel
love
well, and
Yeah.
I saw this show on Sunday night. He is very good in that role.
He's very good.
great.
He cut himself a mullet and a truly borderline repulsive moustache just to
Did
please
he?
me. It was
Okay.
very, very sweet of him, and he still looks like a Greek god.
Yeah, he does.
I honestly, you could smear the man in literal pig dirt, and you'd be like,
So that
are you a
guy's
model?
hot. Yeah.
Are you a pig dirt model? Oh my god, amazing!
What a coincidence.
Well, he sings and
Sean's
dances
wearing
as
pig
well.
dirt today.
Thank you. And I've got the nose. There you go. Just for you, though. Just for you, Virginia.
Except that the one with the nose is good with their words, Sean.
Burn! and I'm very happy here.
Well, smart enough, I'd have something to say, but I'm not.
We're going to get Virginia to hang around and we're going to talk about Cyrano a little bit more because it's her pet project. She created it, which is even more impressive. Joined in the studio by Virginia Gay, star of stage and screen. At the moment, she's on stage, though, in a production of Cyrano at the Heath Ledger Theatre until March 5th. You can get tickets at the Black Swan at blackswantheatre.com.au. We have a double to give away to next Wednesday's performance.
Oh,
are you happy about that, Virginia? If we just
You
got
do a
these tickets
double. You
away?
actually do a double on the Wednesdays, don't you, Virginia?
We do.
We'll just put your microphone on,
Yeah.
maybe.
Harry. Sleep at the wheel, Harry.
Even Harry.
Oh, God.
And we'll give that to caller.
That's going to be caller number 10. Thank you, Harry. Any apologies to our lovely
Virginia
guest?
Gay, Australia's own Virginia Gay.
National
I'm
treasure.
sorry. I'll give you one more of those. Here we go.
Oh, thank you, Harry. Oh, God. Harry's actually always been my favourite one of all of you.
Now, Harry, give her your mic as well. Give her all the mic. So you said that this is a breeze during this show because it's short.
Yeah.
How long does it go for?
It's an hour and 40 minutes straight through.
And you're on stage
no
quite
interval.
a lot.
We're on stage the entire time.
The entire time?
The entire ensemble is on stage the entire time. We're on stage for an hour and 40 minutes, and it's a comedy from beginning to end.
Yes.
It is such a joy to do.
Now, let's talk about how it happened because you made this project, you made this happen, you wrote it, right? You adapted it.
Yes.
So talk to us about that. What was?
Well, I was in the middle of the apocalypse. Remember the apocalypse?
Yeah.
Everybody remembers.
We didn't.
that,
We had
right?
an apocalypse light here in WA. It wasn't
Yes.
so bad.
Yes,
Better for your waist.
and I couldn't be more thrilled, honestly. I'm glad that somebody was having like a slightly free time.
It was great.
But that sense too of like, did you just whisper? It was great.
It actually was pretty good.
I come from Melbourne. We were
PTSD is real. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was in the middle of the apocalypse in Los Angeles, and I'd just seen a production of Cyrano starring James McAvoy, and he did it without the nose. And I remember thinking, God, how do you do Cyrano without a big nose? And he got started. I was a scene and a half in. He is incredible. If you ever get a chance to see that production, you should see it. And I went, oh my God, I have to play this role. Because when you take the nose away, it's just somebody who has decided that they are unworthy
Yes.
of love.
Right.
Even if they're the most interesting person
Yes.
in the room. And I was like, I know that story. I reckon everybody knows a version of that story. And if you take the nose away, it becomes much more universal and becomes much more about like what we think we're worth in
Yes.
this world and the stories that we tell ourselves
Yep.
to keep on perpetuating those ideas of ourselves in the world. So I was writing it. I was doing an adaptation because the original ends in tragedy. And if you've got me, who is a young queer female performer, and telling a queer love story with me falling in love with Roxanne, I don't want to tell a story that says that queer love is impossible. I want it to end in a happy ending.
So
want it to be
I can't remember.
triumphant.
How did the original end? Or what happened?
This is my point. Nobody remembers.
No.
It doesn't happen in the Steve Martin
Yeah, I
film.
didn't think
I was going to say, you were giving me always walks up pretty happy.
That's our only point of
Famously.
reference, Virginia. You've got to remember this.
You're a low base here.
But in the original, everybody dies
Oh,
because it
God.
was written 120 years ago. France was in the middle of 1,000
They
wars.
didn't know about the power of sequels.
They really didn't. Oh, they thought this was a money spinner. Oh, put it to bed now. And so everybody goes off to war and dies, and love is impossible, and it's sad. And I was like, we have just lived through a tragedy.
Yeah, that's the last
I
thing we
don't
need.
want any more tragedy. No more tragedy,
Yes.
please. So we all. So I worked to write this story that was about somebody who was living on scraps of connection. So the world started to shut down, and living on scraps of connection when all they wanted was like a full feast of life.
Yes.
And I was like, that's what we all were feeling
Yeah.
like. Even in Perth, when Perth got shut off, when Western Australia got shut off, that idea that you couldn't travel, you couldn't
Yeah.
see the people that you loved.
Yeah.
So you were living on these scraps of connection.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Cyrano's doing. And again, that's the other
I mean,
reason
could have
why we
been
need a
more
happy
Zoom
ending.
calls in it if you were.
Do you know,
really gonna-
honestly, there was a draft where there were mobile phones, and I was like, let's keep it a little timeless, shall we? Let's just,
that's great.
Virginia, with this, do you have to run it by somebody to get the tick of approval to be able to do Cyrano and make those changes?
Cyrano Industries.
Cyrano Core.
Well, it's out of copyright. That's the thing.
Great.
So it's over 100 years old, which
Oh,
means
wow.
you can actually do whatever you like with the story, which is great. I mean, I had to take it to the Melbourne Theatre Company and pitch it pretty hard and be like, hello, I'm an unknown writer. Would you like to give me $1,000 to
You're
put
not
on the show?
unknown, though.
But I was unknown as a writer, which is
Yeah.
great. So I feel very lucky that people have responded, particularly in Perth. People have responded so positively to the writing, and they've said it's joyful and it's fun and it's silly and it's true, and that's all the kind of theatre that I want to make. And so I feel a bit like, that's very nice.
You're very good at what you do.
Sure, appreciate it.
Even the opening. So the opening is super adorable, which is basically acknowledging that people are back in the theatre.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
That's it. Because particularly with a comedy, and I know some of us come from comedy backgrounds here, right? Like, particularly with a comedy, we can't do what we do without a live audience. You know what I mean? It's not the same down the lens. It's not the same on Zoom. God knows, does everybody remember trying to do comedy on Zoom?
Yeah.
Kill me now. Pass me the ice pick. I will press it in my eye myself. But just that sense of like, that's what we're celebrating. We're all in a room together. We travelled to be here for you, to put on this beautiful show for you, and I cannot do it without you. So I can't wait to see you there.
I do have to say, when everything was Zoom, I did enjoy seeing everyone's spare rooms.
Yes.
That's where everyone did their Zoom calls from, was the spare room.
And just the angle and the frame
it was
and the
so
light,
terrible.
The weird
I saw
lighting.
so many people's paws. And I was like,
and then the people that have thought about it too much, and suddenly the next time you speak to them, there's a plant in the background.
Yeah, totally. Full face of
Like,
makeup.
like with an acoustic guitar showing that they're artistic too.
What do you do next, or are you just going to tour this around for a while?
No, great question. The next thing I do, in the great spirit of life as an actor, is that there are a couple of things that I'm waiting to hear on. Like, literally, that's my job, to sort of exist in a zen state of like, maybe my life could change in 3 weeks' time, and maybe it stays exactly the same, and I never get to talk about it.
No. I hope you get used to that.
All right, well, everybody, go and see Sarah and I.
It is so good. It is such a fun show, and you're very, very good in it. You're very good, but also the rest of the cast. So it's a 6-man cast. They are all superb. They all play their roles so well. It's really good.
Aren't they brilliant? I'm glad you love them. I'm so proud of them. They're such talents, every single one.
Yeah. Michelle from Gwelup scored the freebies, so she'll be going to your show next Wednesday. Thank you so much. You're a joy, Virginia.
Thanks, Virginia.
Thanks, Virginia.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun in podcast form.
You would have seen this story floating around. This waitress in Melbourne, she was working in South Yarra, and this cryptocurrency billionaire dude was there, and I reckon he was on some little lunch.
Was trying to impress his mate.
Trying to do a bit of a flex, whatever it was. He ended up leaving a $10,000 tip.
The bill itself was around $500, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's a considerable tip.
Yeah, $10,000 tip. Unbelievable stuff. Her name was Lauren. She was excited.
I am just extremely grateful. To know that they thought that much of my service is amazing. I made them say the number out loud because I thought, what if I have just gotten too excited and I've stupidly read an extra zero or something like that?
Now, I just would like to know, because there's a part of this where she says, now I don't know if other people heard this or not, but she says that he said he would only leave the tip if she received 70% of it.
Yeah.
Telling her to keep $7,000 and to split the rest of the colleagues, because it's the policy there that they split tips.
Yeah, so that's fairly standard.
So like, I mean, like, did other people hear him tell you this?
You'd want to get that in writing.
I don't know the percentages, but I believe he wanted the money to go
I know,
to
I'm sure he
but
did.
I don't know who does a $10,000 service. I mean, what kind of a service do you get for 10 grand?
Very attractive young lady.
She was a pretty girl. She was a pretty girl, but, she was, everything seemed above board.
Yeah.
I think it was a flex. I reckon he was there impressing someone and went, I'm going to... But
Watch
you know
this.
what?
Yeah.
It's so good. So another girl that works with her, Charlotte, was asked the question by the reporter, which most of us would like to know the answer about.
Are you wishing that you'd been paying more attention to that table?
Oh, 100%. Who wouldn't be? No, I'm happy for Lauren. She is a really hard worker and she deserves it.
No, you're not.
You are not happy for Lauren.
You wish that you had got
liar,
that table,
Charlotte.
would have changed your life. Everybody would
What,
have.
like just sliding doors. What if you got to it first? Why wasn't it in your section? And now she's got $7,000 and your seventh share
You're
of $3,000 with I don't know how many staff.
That's right. The guys in the kitchen would be putting their hand up too, I imagine.
You'd be dirty about that. It's like the guy that was dragged to the Harry Styles concert the other night. I think his name was Scott.
Yeah.
And then Harry spoke to him on stage about doing a shoey.
Yes.
Because he was holding a sign saying I was dragged here by my wife. So he had all this involvement with Harry Styles, but he didn't want to be there.
And
his
yet
wife.
every other person in the crowd is spewing doing, going, why would he talk to me?
So imagine that, like, you know, your wife takes you, you're being dragged along by your wife, and your
Made
wife's
to
so
hold the
excited,
sign.
and then the only interaction she gets is through you with Harry Styles. You know what? You try to be happy with someone. If you're with someone and something great happens to them, you try to be happy, but it's hard.
Yeah, a part of you is dying.
It eats away at you, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
We want to know if something awesome has happened to someone that you were with and it didn't happen to you. All right?
You were that close to the awesome thing.
Yeah,
Just right
so an
next to
opportunity
it.
that they got, maybe they got an amazing upgrade, they won something.
Yeah.
The upgrade thing happens a lot, actually.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you can't upgrade one member of a party. That's cruel.
Someone picked them up, and it could have been you because you're equally attractive.
Right. A Hemsworth strolled by and
now they're super
look them in the
happy,
eye.
and you're
Sean.
not. You're alone. You're alone.
So alone.
We're going to give somebody 2 tickets to go and see the Backstreet Boys live in concert. Backstreet Boys are bringing their 2023 DNA World Tour to RAC Arena Saturday the 25th of February. Tickets and info from livenation.com.au.
All right, 13-24-10. Something awesome happened, but it happened to them and not to you. Diane, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Di.
Hi. Have you been close to somebody else's massive win?
Oh, so close. I had won a couple of tickets to Breast Cancer Care WA lunch.
Yes.
I had just finished breast cancer treatment myself.
Yeah.
So I took one of my best girlfriends. We got there. I wrote both of our names down for a door prize. And, of course, her name was called out.
What did she win?
Stunning gold and aquamarine earrings worth about $800.
No, Di! Di would be dying.
No.
Very happy for my girlfriend, but hey.
No, you're not. Sorry, no, lies. You're not happy for your girlfriend. You wrote down her name. She should have given them to you.
And
plus,
she was your
you
guest.
survived. You survived cancer.
And you got the tickets.
That's
It
right.
wasn't like she
Hey,
bought her ticket.
At the end of the day, I won. I've survived.
No.
Winning's better. Hey, you know what? Living's better with those earrings, believe me.
That's a stitch up, Di.
Oh, Di, yeah.
Di, was there no offer? Like, you bought me along
I
here.
should probably give these to
These should be for you.
that conversation.
That is so dodge.
Di.
I love it.
Thank you.
Not even give her one.
No.
Because they come in pairs, I hear.
Like best friends earrings, so you have one each. Trish, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Trish, have you been so close to somebody else's major game?
So close, too close. My husband and I were travelling around Australia and we were doing a dive course in Queensland, and every morning we'd go to this one little newsagent's on the way to South Beach, I think it's called.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then this particular morning, we would always go to the counter and we'd always buy a scratchy. We're like, this is our day. We're going to win it today.
Oh, I love this.
And then this particular day, we went to that newsagent, but he's like, I want an orange juice. I'm like, we don't have time for that. We're going to be late. He's going, I want an orange juice. So a man got in front of us in the queue. he bought the same denomination that we always buy, $2 or $5 scratchy. I can't remember. He won $100,000. I was like, Steve and I just looked at each other and I was like, oh my God. And we both had that fleeting moment of, should we follow him out? That is our strategy.
$100,000.
And then we knew we were destined to be together at that point because we both went, oh no, we can't do that. That's too scratchy. But it's like,
I do like that you both contemplated murder, but then decided against it.
As a team.
Not to.
I mean, well done. Has he
sorry.
ever had orange juice again after that?
Well, not at that newsagent's, no.
I was going to say, I'm against glassing people, but I would have smashed that orange juice into your partner's temple.
It was like, and we were so young then, we still could have done with that money for our holiday.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
my God,
so good with that
holiday.
money.
$100K.
To set you up for just for a holiday.
Yeah, that's flattening, man.
Oh, Trish, that's a devastating tale.
So 13, 24, 10, let's talk about this more. When have you and your partner decided that you're going to murder someone? Oh, no, that's
And
a
then
different
thought
one.
better of it.
Okay, that's a different one. Something awesome happening to someone that you're with and it didn't happen to you. Hi, Juanita.
Hi.
Hi, Juanita. Juanita, is this about Harry Styles?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
All
Hit us with it.
How exciting.
So my husband actually works at Crown Security,
Yeah.
and he came home yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and I just made the comment and said, how was your day? He goes, yeah, my day was fine. I just had to escort a singer today. I said, oh, who was it? He's like, oh, some guy called Harry. And me and my son are just looking, and we're like, do you know who Harry is? My son's saying to Dad, and he's like, oh, I don't know. He's some singer. He goes, Dad, it's Harry Styles. It's Harry Styles. And he was just like, because he just doesn't, he didn't know who this famous, you know.
Yes.
And the kids are like, oh, can you get a signature? Can you get a signature, Dad? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was just like, he just obviously sees a lot of
celebrities,
singers that come here and whatnot. And he just continues doing his job. So
he's the perfect person for the job, in fact, because he's not going to be starstruck by them because he's got no idea who they are.
No. He's going to walk into the car.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
A lot of people are jealous of that situation.
Yes, a lot of girls are very furious.
A lot of girls right now are going into security.
That's right. Thanks, Renita. Annette, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Annette.
Hi, Annette.
What did you miss out on? But the person next to you did quite well.
It wasn't me. It was my daughter's boyfriend of the time.
Yeah.
They went to a Dockers game with his parents. Now, his parents were members, and they gave her the ticket. As they were walking down to their seats, there were some people at the front, and they kind of looked at him, and they pointed at my daughter and said, you, come here.
Yeah.
And they put her right down the front, and at half-time, she had to go out onto the field and kick the ball towards the goal. And whatever destination was going past, you won 2 tickets.
Was that with Virgin?
Yes.
Virgin, I think it was.
Yes. Well, she won Hong Kong.
The entire Hong Kong.
The island of Hong Kong.
She...
Yes. She won 2 tickets to Hong Kong.
So she's there on someone else's ticket, for starters.
Yes.
And then she gets the lucky seat and wins a trip for 2 to Hong Kong.
Yes, and then to add insult to injury, he did the dirty about a month before she went, so she took her best friend instead.
Oh, double score. That is a double score.
Wow.
Oh, okay. That's really great. I'm glad that happened for her.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go
Thanks,
to Chris
Annette.
and PR Waters. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good,
love
Chris.
the show. Always love the show.
Oh, Chris.
Stop sucking up to us, Chris.
Hang up on him.
We can't handle it. Okay, what happened?
So this is about 4 years ago. So we talk about a lot of wins and things like that. So I've got this E-Lotto that I've always had. So my lucky numbers, I thought the lucky 5, so I always normally play.
Yep.
The 30th of March, 2019, 4 years ago.
Yes.
I remember
What day was it? What day was it, Chris? Thursday, Wednesday?
30th of March.
Yep.
It's my daughter's birthday. So 30th of the 3rd is the birthday. So we decided to go to Wolford Plaza. And I decided, no worries, your birthday, Chloe, so we'll pick tickets. Like, we'll pick your lottery ticket. So she goes, yep, no worries, you guys pick the numbers, all the rest of it. So I played that ticket. So totally forgot about my ticket. I thought, no, I must play that. Yep, must play that, and still forgot about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was sitting down at home and checking the lottery numbers. Took her come up, and I looked at her and said, you won, Chloe, you won some money. Yep, no dramas, $20-something bucks or whatever.
Oh.
Then I've checked my e-ticket that I was supposed to play.
Yeah.
Then I've looked at it. I've gone, crap. Looked at it again. Gone, like, crap.
What?
Then I didn't actually say crap, said something else.
Oh,
but
no.
then I've just screamed at the top of the line and said, oh, my God. My wife's going, what the heck's going on? I said, I've done something stupid.
Oh.
I've done something stupid.
No.
She goes, what have you done? Have you, you cheated on me or something? I said, no.
It's worse, much
Not
worse
at all.
than that, Chris.
This is worse.
You
And
cheated on me
I
or
said,
something.
look at these numbers. And she's looking at them. Then she's looking at me and then looking at me. I said, well, what are the winning numbers here? So this is a $20 million jackpot.
Yes.
So if I had played an e-ticket, a certain
Are you
e-ticket,
joking?
$2.2 million.
They were your numbers, Chris.
You just didn't play
You
it.
just didn't play it.
Your numbers
I
came
didn't
up.
play it.
And you went
It cost
on.
me $4 something. $4 something. Well, it cost the ticket.
Yeah.
I was just
You just
totally
forgot.
blasé. Forgot to do it.
Idiot.
Said to myself, got to do it.
You should never think about your daughter over you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's where you're stuffed up. You're worried about Chloe.
Well, I was worried about Chloe, but, she said, it's okay, Dad. You can have, I've won some money. You can have some more money.
Did
It's
you
okay.
take it? You took it.
All
You
right.
would've. Took it.
No.
Ah,
Just
come
sort of
on,
said,
mate.
no,
It's that time.
that's your win. So,
Oh.
Yep.
Hey,
Chris,
can I
how's
just
your
say,
moment?
we just open this to the table for discussion. Was that Chris's lotto win?
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
it's Chris
you
Lotto's
can't
win
use
because
those
he won.
numbers again. They're not going to be.
They're not
Chris,
gonna come up.
you've missed out.
Your numbers
that
are
was
ruined.
you
It'll
were
never happen again.
you
Yeah,
were
of
meant
course.
to win lotto, and now you won't
No, that's it. But
ever.
to this day, I say, everyone says, well, think about it, because this is before COVID. Think about it. So I'm thinking, where would I be with $2 million? Oh, I'd be on a ship, doing the cruise, all the rest of it. And I'm sitting there going, maybe that's my lucky win.
No, that you didn't go on a cruise.
That you didn't go
yeah.
on a cruise.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sure that'd make me sleep easier.
You keep telling yourself that, Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
That was your luck. Unbelievable. Way to ruin your lucky numbers forever.
Yeah, we've got 2 tickets to see the Backstreet Boys. The Backstreet Boys are bringing their 2023 DNA World Tour to RAC Arena Saturday, 25th of Feb. That's this week. Tickets and info from livenation.com.au. All outstanding. We're going to go back to Diane.
Oh,
She
of
survived
course.
breast cancer.
And then her friend kept the earrings.
Kept her earrings. Let's say it.
We're our
They were
age.
her earrings.
Good on you, Di. We love you.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.